Lab 2. Question 1. When the price of olive oil goes up, the demand for corn oil increases because corn oil is a substitute of olive oil. Price of one substitute increases, the demand for other substitutes will increase too. Part B. The demand for natural gas, coal, and solar power will all increase because they're all substitutes of petroleum. Question 2, Part A. The demand for tomatoes will increase because people will want to stock up on tomatoes right now before the prices increase in the future. Part B. Again, the demand for gasoline will increase due to the expectations that the gasoline prices will increase in the future. And this is caused by the gas station owners who would want to stock up on gasoline. Question 3. The quantity of oil supplied will decrease because many oil deposits will not be worth extracting the oil due to the high cost of extraction in some areas.
For question 4, the answer is a high price because of a supply curve. So at low prices, these efforts would just be too costly, but at high prices, business is able to profit off of research and hiring more highly effective, high-profile workers. Question 5 dealt with the supply curve. We can correlate that with the findings. So 20 million barrels, 25 million barrels at the price of $15. And questions B and C asked if the price for a barrel of oil is $15, how much would oil suppliers be willing to supply? There's 25 million barrels, as you can see on the chart. And then the part C asked, what is the lowest price at which suppliers of oil would be willing to supply 20 million barrels? Question 6 posed another hypothetical situation with light bulb companies in a certain town. So by using the data, you can construct a model. And although it is kind of unorthodox, it's not your simple just straight curve. It does represent the idea as prices rise, the light bulb supplies rise. Although it might not look like a conventional sense of a curve, you can track. So 15 light bulbs at $5, 22 light bulbs supplied at $7, or 40 light bulbs. So as you can see, as the price increases, supply increases.
So for question 7, it asks to identify and calculate the total producer surplus if the price of oil is $50 per barrel. So the total producer surplus is the area above the supply curve and below the price. So it equals 1/2 times 60, which is the quantity of the oil, times $50, so it equals $150. Question 8 asks how the supply curve of sugar changes if a $5 tax per 100-pound bag is applied. So as you can see on the supply curve, it moves up and to the left as the price per 100-pound bag for a quantity of 10,000 goes from $30 to $35, for 15,000 goes from $50 to $55, and for 20,000 goes from $70 to $75. For question 9, it asks how the opportunity cost of producing wheat changes if the price of soybeans rises dramatically and farmers could produce either wheat or soybeans. So the opportunity cost rises because farmers could now make more money producing soybeans, so the more wheat they produce, the more money they lose. And this shifts the supply curve for wheat up and to the left because farmers switch to producing soybeans, so there is a smaller quantity of wheat and therefore a higher price is needed.
So in question number 10, we're talking about the demand for LED TVs. In part A, Newart's consumer surplus can be found through some simple subtraction, which gets you $2,200. In part B, with some slightly more complicated geometry, you can figure out that the area of the shaded triangle, which is the total consumer surplus, is around $2.5 million. And in part C, Newart is depicted as this dashed horizontal line right here of $800, which is how much he paid for his TV. In question number 11, Jessica enjoys a producer surplus of $73,000. And in question 12, in part A, by buying arch supports instead of paying for the foot surgery, Brian enjoys a consumer surplus of $99,990. And in part B, by buying those arch supports, the government raised 50 cents in taxes. But if he had paid for the foot surgery, the government in part C would have raised $5,000.